Welcome back to Arcturian Philosophy. So what are we talking about today? Deprogramming is what we're talking about today. This is probably going to be a long series because this is a very vast subject, and it's sort of apparently what I'm supposed to be doing now. So for programming basics, how does the whole thing work? What is programming? Everybody in our society has been programmed to some degree. So this goes into the very fabric of how we built houses, how we make sinks, toilets, all of that, where we put mirrors in different places. Now you can see, for example, in this complex in the bedroom, the entire wall is a mirror. One wall is a mirror, and I thought, oh, convenient, so that you can watch me out of that thing, huh? Realizing that the bathroom had no window in it, so that if you went in there and that you got sprayed with stuff, you just suffocate in there like Nazi shower style and things of that nature. But so what is it? What does it really mean? So how this works? For example, I was at John Muir in Concord. One of the nurses, male nurse, said to me, "Well, it's every doctor, every hospital, everybody that's a part of this." He basically said that it's every doctor, it's every hospital, it's all of it. So as babies, specifically at hospitals, do not have your kids at a hospital if you can avoid it. Basically at a hospital, there are reptilians that are in what you'd call human disguises, or humans that decide to turn to what you'd call the dark side, and as well as Yahyel, or people that get themselves zapped in the head like I did, who were sitting there doing this maybe, and hybrids of all types, who are on a kind of dark side. They watch during the deliveries, and they watch for traits of the baby and for anything that they can see in its life purpose. Is it on a mission to come here and break the system? Is it an indigo? Oh boy. That's next. All the indigos got placed on a kind of watch list. So if you came out with a big bright indigo color like me, you were thought of as, oh my god, we're scared of it. And so because everyone was so scared of you, particularly the indigos, because we break stuff, you got watched. So we got the worst to begin with. We were like big experiments you could think of. And those of us that get out, it's like it's our job basically to break out the younger generation, which is now more your crystal children and your rainbow children, to get them out of the program. And we do this, what I've noticed the best way to do this is by setting an example. If someone refuses help, or just present free public help like this, I ask everyone, what do I do if so no one if someone doesn't want my help with this, or like they're scared because I'm gonna quote leverage it or something? And he said, just randomly put it on YouTube, prove that you don't care, and that you just want to help. So the idea is to keep these types of kids from learning to be independent. That's the big thing, keeping you from being independent, so that they're disabled in some fashion, either mentally, physically, or both, so that you can't accomplish your mission. So the indigos, we're kind of like the frontline fighters. Kind of think of D-Day. Think of D-Day, and we're flying down, coming here, and we get shot at. But see, if there weren't those first people parachuting down on D-Day, we wouldn't have won. So that's why, if you're an indigo thinking, darn it, and why did this have to happen to me? Why did this have to happen to me? It's because you wanted to be a frontline warrior, and we're like, yeah, I'm going to break this stuff apart. So it won't suck anymore. after a little while, getting told, stuff that we have to just keep on going, particularly as long as I keep on going in this area, then it will help anchor down this area more and more and more. And people are going to start saying, help me, help me, get out, help me get out. So what people need to understand is there are also degrees of programming. So the more talented that you appear to be at birth, the more strongly the more strongly you get hit with the programming, but also the more strategically you're placed, so to speak, with the Galactic Federation of Light. They're very smart, so where you go down to, everyone thinks about that very strategically, where you decide you want to come into, and basically we'll try to put the strongest people into the heaviest zones so that they can, do their thing and just attempt to get their way out of there. So now what does the severe programming entail? First thing, rape, electroshock. This is classical conditioning, so that's like walking you to something that, say, if to be independent, let's think about this. To be independent, you have to know how to do dishes, you have to know how to handle money, you have to balance a checkbook, you have to wash your clothes, you have to take a shower, you have to cook for yourself. You have to do these things that are called independent living, that make up living independently. And if you show excessive talent, then the idea is to somehow attempt to program at least your hardware into inhibiting you from being able to do those things, or making you scared of doing those things, or inducing a seizure if you attempt to do those different things. Going out by yourself, driving, handling or understanding the use of money, checking the mail, cooking, cleaning, like all simple hygiene, going to the bathroom, if they can control that, I love doing that. Literally any task that allows you to be independent, like taking out the trash is another one, and laundry, any regular household task, vacuuming, anything that you can think of that would make up normal lifestyle. So step one is start very small with tasks. We have to reteach ourselves how to do normal tasks. And I've had to have Cryon actually go around with me and say, okay, here, now, take a shower. Here's how to do it. Here's how you can do it nice and slowly so that it's not frightening or overwhelming for you. Okay, now, here's the one you really hate. Now you're going to have to do these dishes. It's okay, you can just do one of them at a time, or just do one and then leave it alone. Alright, now we have to do the laundry. Oh, God. And figure if I still haven't done that yet. But I can do. I'm one of those people that can do laundry and absolutely got programmed into hating it. So I still have to be like encouraged to actually do laundry, or be able to figure out how to do it. And when I would ask my mother how to do it, she would literally not teach me, which is the idea, is parents, ideally the programmer is the parent, or the primary caregiver, which I also had a nanny, so that was like the primary programmer there, but then switched off to being my mother as the handler, as they'd say. And one of the key things, I also have this in here, you have to let go of the main handler. And that's really hard. You have to assess to what degree of control they have over you. One, to first start with anything. Okay, how much control do they have over me? How much control am I allowing them to have over me? So basically, you were brainwashed into loving your abuser in order to survive. And I know how much it hurt me in the, Reptilian prison, which was John Muir Medical Center in Concord, to tell my mother goodbye. And it still hurts me to think about it. Even when I realize, well, that's not really my mother. It's still is something that will hurt, and it's because it's something that they attempt to biologically ingrain. I would hear them say, "Oh, well, you don't want your mother to leave, do you?" And I would suddenly get, that's a callback. I'd hear it loudly. This is called a callback. That's called a callback, and you're going to have to tell your mother no. Either you know how to parent, or whatever you are, you have to figure out how to you have to be a mother, or I refuse your continued abuse. I refuse all of it. And here's a helpful tip that really helped me. You can think or write to yourself, or maybe thinking is probably safest for you to do if you're really frightened. I, so-and-so, now fully accept adoption by my family in the stars. And also if you're feeling like an orphan. So a lot of us that come from either overt, obvious programming where we knew we were in it, or we didn't, or not obvious programming where it was more like me, where you didn't quite know you were in it. My brother did, because he got so very strongly controlled, but I somehow resisted being raped and the different things. I resisted so much of it that I didn't understand that I was growing up in satanic programming. So when I realized, wait, okay, I figured out that my father is like a sperm donor, as I would call him, and now my mother is not really my mother, or she was in on this from practically not too long after I was born. That means I'm an orphan, basically. Feeling like an orphan, where I have Spider-Woman's web written down here. I read from Spider-Woman's web before, but I'm going to find it again for us. So this is an example of, this was given to me to attempt to target me, but instead we're going to use it as an example of what severe in what programming can do. So this was a girl who was probably under the age of 30. She was clearly an overeater, and a lot of people I've noticed will overeat to cope with their degree of programming. And what she says in here really explains what a person that's gone through extreme programming feels like. So she says, on the beginning of this, Spider-Woman's Web is our book here. And so she says, I am warped. I have a warped body, warped mind, and warped spirit. I have a warped idea of everything, because I am irrevocably fucked up, and there is nothing I can do about it. I am warped, and it is because somebody wanted me to be. Somebody took a sledgehammer to my self-esteem and ripped my heart apart when I was too young to be able to stop them. Someone tried to kill me, and I went wonky in order to simply survive. I'm not perfect. My bones curve space and time, and my mind? Don't even mention that. Still, nothing but perfect remains in my soul. Nothing but perfect where my heart is learning how to be. I long to break free of the hold the past has on me. I know you won't believe me. I became the kind of person who could live imperfectly so I could stay with you. Won't you come with me on my journey towards the one known simply by the name she? So this is the idea of what programming does. basically not being called by a name, being treated like an animal inside of a cage at its worst degree, which I realized was being done to me as I got older. I realized, wait, where I live right now is being treated like the room that I live in that's just not in the house that I grew up in, everything that when I would attempt to make videos, things would stop or things would happen to try and stop me. But people are slowly figuring out that they just can't control me. And I think they knew that from when I was younger, that I was too much of a wild card. So letting go of the handler, that's a really hard one, because you're taught to love the handler, or somehow programmed into loving the handler in some capacity. But for those of us where it's our parents, that's really the hardest one, because it's saying, okay, you know what, I'm an orphan to you. I'm not your child anymore, but I am a child of my star family, and I know that they will take care of me. Like an example is I had nothing to eat one day, and so I just thought, oh, I'll walk outside. Before the whole place was taken over, I thought I'll walk outside and just walk around, and then I won't be thinking about being hungry. And I walked past a little plot of mushrooms, and I stopped and actually looked at them and thought, oh, they look good, but mushrooms like that are poisonous. So and I walked away, and then I heard something say to me, hey, you said you were hungry. Why are you walking away from the food? And I stopped and I said, are you serious? Because I thought if people eat these, it's poisonous or something, or kills you. And I was told, well, no, that's because they don't want you understanding that you don't have to go to the store to eat. And yes, they can be poisonous to some people's systems because of how you've evolved in the wrong direction. But for you, you will be able to eat these, and they're perfectly fine for you to eat. They might taste a little weird at first, but no, it's not going to hurt you at all. And you should pick all of them. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm either gonna die or something. And it ended up being really, really good mushrooms. They did taste a little bit different, but they were really, really, really good. And I thought, okay, well, whoever you guys are, really, you Arcturian people, cool. And they said, look, well, if you were stuck in a forest, we would show you how to eat. We would take care of you. And when you can place that faith in yourself and in your star family and star home to care for you, or in angels and whatever relates to you the most, to care for you, that was what allowed me to start breaking the connection with the handlers, with anybody that could be considered a handler or programmer of any type, and making me the deprogrammer, realizing that, you know what, I don't need you to take care of me because I have the cosmos to take care of me, and that's way bigger and way more powerful than anything that you can ever do to me, than anything that can ever happen to me. And so we have with step 1, start small with small tasks. Now this could be as small as getting told, okay, go this way, and you just wait for 2 seconds or 3 seconds and then walk. That could be where how you start. Okay, go this way. If you're in a really severe situation, you could just sort of walk like this in a circle and then walk the way that you're being told, so that it looks like you're doing what you're being told. Because for a lot of this, for some people who are extremely talented, they're in situations where I have written down here with implants, with all kinds of things, so that it's designed to catch you if you're breaking out of the system, with biological triggers, which I didn't actually write down here, that will get. There are things that I call them biological triggers. I don't really know what people call them, but it's the weird bang, poop, whatever, poltergeist type thing that reptilians will do. And I noticed how it appeared programmed into them, because I would do it at random, and I would notice, oh, okay, I'm doing this in connection with different thought patterns, and I would notice that sometimes it was designed to tip off other people as to if you were breaking out of the system, or if you said something that was a lie or something, and then slapped your hand on something, it was supposed to be a tip off that's a thought pattern that's not good. We have to suppress this person more. Now also redeveloping trust. That trust issues are going to be big for all of us. I mean, especially for me, when it feels like my entire town and greater area is trying to murder me. It feels like you can't really trust very many people. Also, for those of you who can figure out the different rules involved, like opening a door that's locked, or different things about how and where you clean a mirror, or things along, or bags, or things along those lines. Knowing the rules inside of whatever system that you're in, you can take the rules and use the rules against the people that are trying to enslave you, because they are still abiding by those rules, but you are just deciding to change the rules. And you change the rules in very tiny little steps, like I was saying, tiny little steps. So, get over here, bitch. Okay. Go this way. Oh, okay. Like that. Things like that, and then slowly, you end up redeveloping your own will, where your heart, like this song, like a lightning bolt, your heart will grow, and when it's time, you'll know. You just have to ignite the light and let it shine. Just own the night like the 4th of July, because you're a firework. I'm going to make my Thank You Katy Perry for Saving My Life song after this. Also, so one thing I didn't write down, but this is pretty cool. People who got the kitty cat thing, okay, any female that's gone through programming, that's gone through the kitty cat stuff, you can actually change all the associations with that using the martial arts, which I think is a really cool thing to do with the cat programming, because it's like, okay, I'm a little kitty cat. Oh, okay, you want that kind of cat, right? Yeah. You want me to be a cat, huh? And I thought of that because this is called the cat stance in lots of different martial arts. So if you can find different videos or somehow get yourself into generalized martial arts, attempt to practice it or do any of it, there should be basic type lessons on YouTube where you can read about it. The discipline, the different things that you learn, just simply doing that. If you can find a way to do it, depending on the degree of the programming, like if you're a kid, you can lock yourself in your room if you're supposed to be studying or whatever, and do okay. And even if you're being watched, still, it's the degree of control that you give away that allows something to be done to you. So you have to slowly pull, like you threw out a fishing line to the light over there, and you're just pulling it slowly back. Or like everyone loves the climbing the rope for astral projection. Okay, I'm climbing that rope, which I suck at climbing, to astral project. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my rope over to the light, and I'm going to slowly climb in there, pull in there. Okay, we're going this way. Okay, very slowly, very slowly. Just like the struggle that people have doing that, trying to astral project, this is kind of like that. So for girls that got the kitty cat thing, think okay, cat, okay, I'm this kind of cat. And also I'll show you, this is called scanning. And this is kind of cool because I noticed that this is what Arcturians would start doing. They would do a thing that would look kind of like this, and I would think, oh, I know what that is, like this, right? And I thought, oh, this is called the cat stance. Wait, this is called the cat stance, or even better one, hey girls, tiger stance, which is like this. Trying to show. We have where you're like that, bent, where you have like bent knee, and it's like this. Where you can relearn all this stuff. So, tiger stance. So, okay, and arm is like this. So, okay, I'm a cat, right? I'm a tiger now, which I learned in it's called kata 2, the ending, and the tiger takes its claw, goes like this, and with a hard punch down. And that's like punching your enemy straight in the nose. So, okay, yeah, cat and tiger. Like that. So, for girls, cool. Cool way to reverse the programming that you got, or basically reprogram it to something better. Now, and also the martial arts, that helps you with the redeveloping trust, because it helps you develop a trust in yourself to rely on your spirit to know, is this person going to hurt me? Is this person trustworthy or not? Or should I just back away and wait? What should I do in different situations with different people? And then there's the big big topic of disabling implants. That one is pretty difficult one. So it's not that it's difficult, it's just that it's more complicated to do, more annoying to do. If you've got stuff blaring in your head, like the satanic joking, or that's just weird blaring whatever, in your mind, that makes it pretty difficult for you to do these different things. So that with situations like that is where you literally do whatever it is that you want in the exact moment, or use distraction techniques. So, okay, I'm going to distract myself by listening to my iPod, or I'm going to distract myself by coloring in a picture, or I'm going to watch a movie, or something like that. That is like a distraction technique. Or if you have people that spout gibberish around you all the time and try to influence you that way, I am the Eggman, I'm the Walrus, cuckoo, cuckoo. John Lennon wrote that on purpose for you guys to use it so that you could resist programming. So if you're in a situation where everyone's talking gibberish, you just put on I am the Walrus and I am the Eggman. They are the Eggman. Well, I am the Walrus. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Stupid bloody Tuesday. Oh man, you should have seen them kicking Edgar Allan Poe. Hey, go do this, go do that. You're just saying random gibberish back at them, and it's kind of like it counters it. With your thought process, that's how you slowly disable the implants. And like ET 101 says, laughter is one of the best ways to get around battle fatigue, as they call it, and or in the book. And I have noticed that it is rather fatiguing, constantly being in some kind of astral battle. So one of the most fun things to do is change it from being a game or battle or whatever to being something that you'd like to be doing. And so this can apply to your entire day. Like with me now, so I'll having to be alone, I have to rely on guides constantly to tell me what to do, to try to help me learn how to live independently to help me learn how to do wash, to help me learn how to do basic things that a normal human would know how to do, but that I was deliberately people tried to suppress me from doing because me and my brother were both Arcturian. Now, big one here that I've noticed while I go get some water real quick. Okay, back. Now, one thing that I've noticed a lot is that a lot of people that are type 4s on the Enneagram tend to get themselves into a kind of cycle where they cycle between being imprisoned and then getting themselves free, then being imprisoned and free over again repeatedly. And this is my Enneagram binder for people that need some help with Enneagram. That's 9-gram. So that tells you immediately, yay, it's something that you want to hear about. 9-gram, it's a personality typing system. And I've noticed that a lot of type 4s, I'm a type 5, so a lot of type 4s tend to stay in this cycle where they'll break out of the program and then get sucked back in, then break out and then get sucked back in. And it's why? Because they tend to wait for a savior to come to save them, which contradicts the law of attraction, which again contradicts everything, because usually these people are the best at teaching the law of attraction, which is funny. And now where we have wisdom of the Enneagram. Where's type? Type 4 here. So type 4, and it's the numbers do matter. It's kind of like a kind of numerology thing. The sensitive, withdrawn type, expressive, dramatic, self-absorbed, and temperamental. Let's see. So basic fear of having no identity, no personal significance. Basic desire to find themselves and their significance, to create an identity out of their experience. And superego message, you are good or okay if you are true to yourself. And one thing that Enneagram people say is that the 4s never forgot that we are all one. That's why the Enneagram is a symbol, looks like this, and it's in a circle representing universal oneness. And these kind of designs are supposed to represent how a person may tend to act in different situations. But I was fortunate to be taught the Enneagram from someone that was on the cutting edge of redoing it, and I know that these directional lines are not exactly all right, and the obvious answer was right the whole time. So we have examples of type 4 people. So like Bob Dylan, the artist formerly known as Prince, Judy Garland, Edgar Allan Poe, Johnny Depp, Sylvia Plath, James Dean, Alanis Morissette, kind of okay, the artist, the romantic, the melancholic, the tragic victim, the special one, F. Scott Fitzgerald, Albert Camus, Marcel Proust, and so these people it says these people tend to be kind of in their imagination a whole lot, and then base their identity off of their feelings, because they know that their feelings are their internal guidance system. They haven't forgotten that. Because their feelings are always changing, that means your identity is always changing, and so they feel like no one can know the real me, or they really feel alien. More alien than the type 5 people feel, apparently, because type 5 people feel like, as it will say in there, disembodied minds, which is why I say to the gray people that I understand what they kind of mean with sitting there and thinking forever and then dying out, because people that are type 5s tend to be like that. If they don't get proactive, they'll just sit there forever thinking and then die out because they were thinking too much. Now, So after this, so how do we keep ourselves going? I know that people are going to be getting themselves out of their programming slowly, because I'm supposed to be some sort of helper with this, or some kind of, I don't know, some kind of emissary to help us all do it. Like Eminem saying, we'll rock this road together through the storm, whatever weather, cold or warm. Just letting you know that you're not alone. Holler if you feel like you've been down the same road. And we can break out of it. This is a pretty big topic, so I'm going to come up with some more stuff that should hopefully be helpful, and maybe some other methods to think of. But the first thing is to start small, and I've also said, if you are able to, if you're really in a trapped situation where you fear for your survival unless you do exactly as you're told, you can start very small, where you're told to go and you wait for maybe 1 second before you're told to go, or walk in a little circle and then go, or take 1 step that way and then go. Anything that is your own idea, but then also following what you're told to do. And for people that aren't in a seriously trapped situation like that, where they can actually say no, what was your name again? Which which programs, people may be aware that causes opening for a hex. So, what was your name again? No. Or just a hard look and no. Also, if anyone can see this, I was taught randomly how to blur my eyes, and it looks like this. I don't know if it looks cross-eyed or what it looks like, but if you walk, if you hold your eyes like this when someone is trying to do something to you, they can't, because your eyes are blurred, and they rely on your vision to do something to yourself, because you doing it to yourself. And you have to, if you simply you use whatever trick to convince yourself that it's not happening, then it doesn't happen anymore. But it might not be immediate like that. For me, with the blurring my eyes, that was immediate. That stopped people immediately from doing things that were eye-related. If I would walk past them with blurred eyes like that, and they would just be like, "Whoa, okay, what's up with that? We don't know what to do." But what's your name? No. Also notice things like your address being repeated, things like that. Say no. And also a phrase that I've said a lot around here: if you're able to do this, or if you feel able to do this, say, I refuse abuse. I do that which supports my life. I am that I am, and I refuse abuse. Now, one thing is that you can quote be, but you can also be I am that I am, but you can also be like that and be enslaved at the same time. So Cryon is saying to me, hey, point that out, because you can say I am that I am while in handcuffs. But the idea is to be I am that I am while mighty and not in any handcuffs. So when you're saying I am that I am, it has to have a feeling and emotion behind it of a powerful stance. You can imagine maybe that you can imagine that you're standing up strongly and powerfully like this, something like that. Or you can imagine someone that you idolize or that you look up to, that you've noticed in maybe popular culture, or a scientist, or someone that you admire, who you've seen break out of programming, and think of that person and think at the same time, I want help to do this. And when you say that you want help, when you ask that you want help, you have to be saying, I want help, as if the help is already there. But still, when I've been, completely sleep deprived and like this, and saying I need help, and then the book literally hits me in the head, that it will still work even if you feel like your spirit is incredibly weak. As long as you're putting the intention out there of I'm saying I want help, and I know somehow that help's going to get back to me. I know somehow, somewhere, I don't know how, I don't know when, but somehow that help is going to get back to me. Then that's what creates that boomerang effect where it comes back to you. So I'm going to come up with some more interesting ideas for deprogramming everybody, and that's what we're going to do as more and more people break out of the matrix. And we all say, "Rawr!" We're going to stop the world from dying. We're going to create a world that is happy and alive and peaceful with whatever peaceful entities in light and love that want to stay on it. So I hope you've all had some sort of helpful experience here from hearing me talk about these things. And also I've seen people have experienced some help, it seems, just from seeing me walk around in the middle of it all. So I'm going to keep on keeping on, and you guys can continue to see me walking around in the middle of it all, and we're gonna push it all away and say, "Get behind me, Satan," because you're Satan, and I'm light love, and you can't be around me. You dark stuff, you can't be around me. You can come into the light if you want, but you know what? If you're gonna screw around and be dark like that, you can't be around me. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Arcturian Philosophy. Have a good night, and blessings to you all.